I would like to demonstrate the use of functions. Now, I'm going to start with a vector. We have a certain vector, and I have this function here called v_plot, and let's just run that function here, calling the function and inputting the vector v. And so what it does is it plots the values in this vector, and here it has a text line with some statistic. In this case, I'm hardwiring a value 0.453. Now what I want to do is take this function, and instead of some hardwired value, I wanted to calculate some statistic on this vector v, and I want that to be something that I can input as a variable, what statistic it's going to calculate and show. So I also have two functions, root mean square and this that I call AMF, that calculate some statistic on the values in the vector. In this case, it's the mean of the variation from the mean, of the absolute variation from the mean. And this one is the root mean square values, but it doesn't really much matter what they are. It just means what matters is they're functions of the vector v. So for example, we can calculate root mean square of v to get a value, or AMF of v, and that gives us a value. So remember, here's our v_plot function. There's a variation here, v_plot f, where now instead of the hardwired value, it's going to calculate some function of v, fun v, and what function that's going to be is part of the input, so it's in the input argument list. Okay. Now the question is, how do I now call this function v_plot f v, and now I have to tell it with which function to use. Now, and the way you do that is, in this case, which is one of the simplest cases, you can use the function handle. So remember, the function handle is nothing but the @ sign and the name of the function. So if I want to use root mean square, that's the handle. This here is the handle for that function, root mean square. So if I run it that way, you can see now that the value is 1.017, which is the value that's calculated by root mean square of v. And then likewise, I can do that again using a different function to calculate the statistic. So now I'm going to use AMF, and as you can see here, it plots everything again, and now the value is 0.781. Just maybe to make it more clear, I'm going to erase the figure and start over. So here we go. It plots the values of v. That's what this part does. And then here's where it's just getting the string that's going to go into the text function. But then the important thing is that to get a value out, it's using the function fun, and what that function fun is depends on what I'm passing as a function handle here. So let's clear that and start again with AMF, and there it is. And you can see that the value that it shows up, 0.781, is the value that occurs that results when you apply this function AMF to vector v. So hopefully that helps to clear up a little bit how these functions work, and how they are called, and how you feed function handles into the functions.